Hey, welcome back to Piece of Chaos. Happy New Year. So, it's 2024. Amazing, right? Amazing. Took a couple weeks off. It was glorious, have to say. Absolutely glorious to not have to obey a calendar for a few weeks. What a privilege. What a privilege to not have an alarm clock for, I guess it ended up being about 10 days. Yeah, it was just a beautiful, beautiful holiday. Didn't go anywhere, which, also I regret a little bit. Just, in years past, traveling during the holidays was just something that we did every year, whether it was on a plane or in a car or whatever. And it's just, I don't know. I realized after a couple of days of this, had a cup of coffee with a friend and just were catching up and realized that I was really burnt out. I was really tired. And the idea of going somewhere, getting on a plane, traveling, not being in my bed just did not appeal to me. And I think the whole family kind of felt that way. I mean, we lazed around, watched a lot of fun movies together and baked cookies and made dinners. And it was awesome. It was really cool. It was great. It was, even though there was no event to mark or trip to document or whatever, one of the better holiday breaks I can remember was this one. Someday I want to go to Hawaii and be in Hawaii for Christmas, Mele Kaliki Maka and all that. Someday. But this was not the year. My buddy actually on Christmas Day flew to Disneyland, and brought his family to Disneyland. He's a real big fan of Disney stuff. And, Disneyland is fairly close to me. It's about 90 miles, which doesn't sound like a lot if you're from the East Coast. You could, that's 90 miles, about 90 minutes, not a big deal. But 90 miles in Southern California, unless it's at, 3 a.m, is 2 to 3 hours at least. It's so crowded here. And during the holidays, going to Disneyland is just a crazy idea. Because it's really, 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 really expensive. So if you're only going for a day, you will probably not get on a lot of the rides, which at that point, what is the point? So California residents, at least as the ones I know, treat Disneyland a little bit differently, although it's always pretty crowded. There are better times to go than Christmas time, but I also really wanted to see my friend, but I was like, okay, this is going to be what would end up being about $1,000 day, all told. And I just didn't have it in me. And also, I've been to Disneyland when it's really crowded with the kids, and it is, they are at the age now where they like it, and they're annoyed by the ride lines, and they're critical at the end, like, that ride was not worth the 2-hour wait. So, yeah, Disneyland is an interesting topic. I didn't mean to go down that road, but anyway, I didn't do anything over the break except relax with family and friends, and it was glorious. So I hope you had a great holiday. What I wanted to talk about today was this idea that I've been kicking around. I've heard it for a long time. There's a Japanese word for it. I should look it up too. Let me see while I got it here. They use this. The idea is that it is Kintsugi. Yeah, Kintsugi. Yeah. So it's a Japanese repair technique that translates to joining with gold. So the idea is that you drop a vase that you like, instead of gluing it and making it clear so it looks like it was never broken, you highlight the fractures with gold glue and, show that, this was broken, but it still works, The definition on here is in a world that so often prizes youth, perfection, and excess, embracing the old and battered may seem strange, but the 15th century practice of Kintsugi meaning to join with gold is a reminder to stay optimistic when things fall apart and to celebrate the flaws and missteps of life, which I just think is a amazing concept. And if you pair that with this idea that, don't hold too dear the things that you prize, and the Stoic philosophy of like the glass is already broken. So the reason I bring this up is over the holidays, dear family friend had just gotten a new car, new to them, used car, and I have a used car as well. Obviously, I use it, but I have an older car. I tend to drive them into the ground until they become a liability. From a car standpoint, they're sort of utilitarian to me. But it's still new to me. It's still new to her, and she's sort of a new driver. And she was backing out of the driveway and hit my car, scratched her car and my car. And the glass is already broken thing comes into play because she was really upset, and I don't know if she thought I would be really upset, but I didn't care at all because of this like idea that the glass is already broken, nobody's hurt. Who cares if my car is scratched? Of course my car is scratched. It is out there in the world interacting with the world, and there's parking lots and carts and there's things happening in the world. And I think this way about, sort of musical instruments too. Like one of my favorite guitars that I have is this Gibson Les Paul. And when I bought it used, and when I bought it, it had this gigantic chunk out of the front, like this, like somebody like dropped it on a corner of something, like a table. So it's like this dented ding in the top of the guitar. And it was discounted like crazy because of it. And I was like, well, I don't care. Like, I'll probably drop it, and other guitars that I have and instruments that I have that are used, that have been used by me, that have dings or dents or scrapes or wear marks on them, makes it part of the charm of the thing, and the what's the, I'm like a dictionary thesaurus today. There's a Hawaiian word, mana, I think, like the mana Hawaiian meaning, like the mana of the thing. It's the energy, the object contains energy, and part of it is those dings, those dents. Now, even though I don't know the source of the ding of that guitar that I now have, it's just part of the mana of that guitar. Is it came in healed, but it sounds amazing, and it doesn't matter that it's a little dinged up. So anyway, it was interesting that this happened with the car, and how, and so we over like November timeframe, we had one of the bathrooms in my house remodeled. It was beautiful. Came out so nice. And it was really finished maybe, right. It was finished by Christmas fully. Like we were done. Everything was complete a little before, but a couple weeks, like maybe a week or two before Christmas. And then for Christmas, my son got this thing that he wanted to hang in his room. And so the day after Christmas, I got up, I got my drill and my toolkit, and went to put the anchors in the drywall to hang this thing in his room. And I totally just didn't account for what was on the other side of the wall. The way we changed the configuration of the bathroom, it basically put the wall of the shower against my son's room. And we had one of those little nooks put in to keep shampoo in, which means there's no space really between the drywall in my son's room and this niche, whatever you call it, this cutout in the shower. And so as I drilled through the wall to put the anchor in, I heard this distant like drop sound. It sounded like something fell off a shelf. And I was like, what is that? And I went around the corner and I looked, and it was a shampoo bottle because I had drilled through the brand new shower, luckily through a grout line and not through a tile, but just drilled a hole right into the shower. And I was like, of course. How long could this possibly stay unscathed? This new construction, this imperfection now due to my stupid error. So I siliconed that up and get some new grout in there, and it's all good. But just felt so stupid for days, and still do. Obviously, I'm still talking about it. But what an idiot. But what are you going to do? It's fine. Dent in the car, hole in the grout. Doesn't matter. Things are being used. Things are living, and becomes part of the gold glue of life, I guess. Everything is temporary, right? Everything is temporary. And then the other story I want to tell you before we head out of here, and again, thank you all for listening and downloading and the reviews. It's humbling, honestly, that anybody's listening. So I appreciate it. And I love to hear your feedback on the Dr. Bronner episode. I thought that was really interesting. Got a couple more guest episodes coming up in the coming weeks here as well. But I wanted to talk about this instrument thing. So every musician listening to this will understand gear regret. And if you started playing an instrument when you were young and try and stayed with it, and especially if you were in a band, you will know this pain. You accumulate gear, you sell gear, and if you were trying to feed yourself and were poor like I was when you were a struggling musician, sometimes you just need money and you got to get rid of things. And I guess my message to musicians, struggling musicians, is if you can do anything else to avoid selling a prized musical instrument, try to do it, because you're always making a mistake. If the gear is good, like if it's just something that's doesn't mean anything to you, then fine. But like if it's something that's hard to replace, something that's been with you for a long time, something that I don't think it's as possible now to not realize the value of things that you have, because you can look it up on reverb.com or eBay and see, the value of what you have. But like, I didn't have that in the 80s and 90s. You just trusted and guessed, and your only marker of what was the value of something was like classified ads in the paper and stuff, and, yard sales, things like that. So I have a lot of gear regret about things that I've sold. One was an original, irreplaceable 1963 Slingerland drum set that actually had a lot of personal meaning to me now, and more so now than it did then, obviously. I didn't think I had a choice but to sell it to get the new gear that I wanted. I sold it to get a new drum set that would hold up in gig situations. The technology of drum hardware changed so drastically, and from the 60s to the 80s and 90s, Tama became the strongest name in drums, and their gear just held up, still holds up. It's incredibly strong gear and really great for on the road. So I didn't think I had a choice, and I sold that drum set for what is now so little money at the time, so I could buy my own new drum set. And I love that new drum set, and I still have that drum set that I bought, but I always think about that one that I sold that I wish I still had for whatever reason. Karma brought me a replacement for that drum set many years later that sort of fills the hole, but that Slingerland drum set, man, missed that thing. So that's the first one. The other one is I had a little Fender Princeton reverb that I sold for an astonishingly low amount of money, just because I needed money to go on a trip, and that was the only thing I had of value that I felt I could part with. That one would be nice to still have. It was a Princeton reverb, I believe, but that one I don't regret nearly as much as I sold this snare drum that I had, which was a really special piece of gear. It was a Tama Artwood maple, bird's eye maple snare drum. It was a beautiful, beautiful instrument. I loved that thing. But piccolo snares kind of went out of favor in the music that we were playing at the time. And I needed money, and I needed cymbals, and I needed other things. And so in trying to get it again, looking on Reverb and other used sites, I actually found a couple of them. One ended up being a scam, which was a strange thing to have that exact model. It wasn't the exact one. Mine was a 14-inch. This was a 12-inch. But I wanted to add it back to my collection, basically, in with having sold it when I was young. But I ended up in sort of another way, because I couldn't find it. It made me regret it more and think about it more, and I was just ruminating on this for days. And I was like, you know what? It doesn't matter. It's gone. It's past. But I would like to have a piccolo snare. And I like Ludwig snare drums. I have a Ludwig snare drum now that is just it's a beautiful instrument. And this one has some mana. It's from the 90s, which is what I was looking to get. And I was like, okay, I'm a Ludwig snare guy, I guess, for the most part. I play Gretsch drums. I play Tama drums. I'm not sponsored, so I can do whatever I want. But I love both. I love both the Gretsch drums and the Tama drums. I think for different reasons, different applications. But for the longest time, it's probably about equal. I played Gretsch's on the road with Mariner 9 for most of our time, but the early days I was playing that Tama drum set that I was talking about earlier. And now with the Temple of the Dads, the 90s band, I play exclusively my Tama Star Classics, which I love. But with this Ludwig snare drum, if sponsors do want to come in, the one thing I am very, I do not mess around on Zildjian cymbals. I don't cheat on them. They're my favorites. So if you want to sponsor me there, that's fine. And Vic Firth drumsticks. So not that you wanted a gear rundown, but so anyway, got a new snare drum. Can't worry about the past. And just move on. The glass is already broken. Yeah. Neat lesson. So anyway, that's it for this week. I greatly appreciate all of you, and you're listening to the podcast. I guess I'm in my third year. Is this the third year of episodes? I think I started in 21, 22. I don't know. Who knows? Time is irrelevant. But appreciate you. Appreciate the listens, the downloads, and the reviews. And I think in the next couple weeks, I've been asked to join another podcast. We're working on the name and the concept, and it's going to be pretty cool, and I'm honored to be on that one. So more on that in the days to come, weeks to come. And yeah, thanks. Have a amazing week, and I'll be back soon. Thanks for listening to Piece of Chaos. Bye. Oh, Happy New Year.
Anything come what might, for the sake of having you near, in spite of a warning voice that rings in the nights, repeats and repeats in my ear. Don't you know, little fool, you ain't never gonna win. Use your mentality, wake up to reality. Each time I do, just the thought of you makes me stop just before I begin. Yes, I've got you under my skin. Hey there, you with the stars in your eyes. Love never made